That's an interesting topic, too, man. Just like as an artist, right? Like what you said, it's like it's gonna be hard to make money off of a cool artsy photo, but you can make it off of gigs. So I think you've maybe done that naturally, or maybe thought it through, but with merch for you, right? It's like a
Yeah.
lot harder to
Yeah.
make money off of, you know, s- streaming music
Yep.
or even
Well,
playing
exactly.
gigs,
Yeah. I mean,
right? So how do you,
the
where, what do you got to
yeah, I
do?
mean,
Yep.
I've ever since I was going to shows when I was like 17, I was always enamored by band merch. I always just thought it was the
Mm,
coolest thing. I just loved it. And
mm,
so, um, when I found out that that's where bands mostly make their money from, I studied the bands that were doing well in merchandise, like bands that were punching above their weight with
yep.
merchandise. Because
Yep.
obviously, I know that Nickelback will sell a lot of shirts because they're Nickelback, and Nickelback fans will buy their shirts no matter what they look like or what their price. But I was
Mm,
looking at bands in my music scene that weren't that popular, but everyone had their shirts on.
mm.
Bands that their merch was more popular than
Yes.
the music. And I said to
Yep.
myself, like, I'm gonna focus on them because making good, like, there's no relationship between the music you make and the merch you make. It's not like you make good merch and then your music gets watered down or your music gets good.
Mm.
Like, music is over here and merch is over here.
But
And
also like perfect. Yep.
because unlike a music video, those things don't really touch. Like,
Yeah. Except
I
for
mean,
like if it went all the way to the values of a person, of a
that's
human
true.
being,
That's
making,
true.
right? If you make one professional thing, I feel like you're a lot more likely to make five professional things.
Yeah, no, it's true. And what I guess the relationship that they do have is that if you're doing well with the merch thing, then your music thing will be more propped up, I think. But um
Definitely. And the
yeah, I
community
mean,
aspect, right?
oh, totally, totally. And so yeah, our goal is to make merch, that is comfortable and looks good and comes from like an ethical process.
Mm,
Um and and you know, sell it and not come no, I don't ever want to be too salesy as a band,
mm,
but I also want to be honest. I want to be like, yo, we'd love it if you bought this. Thank you for buying this. Like I don't mind telling people that I want them to buy our stuff because I do,
yeah.
and I'm not ashamed of that.
Yeah.
But what I never wanted to do is become I didn't want to become I didn't want people to look at our social media pages
Mm,
and be like, wow, this is one big fat advertisement.
mm,
Like, they're selling their music video, they're selling their song, they're selling their streaming, they're selling their concert shows, they're selling their merch. Just sell, 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 sell.
yeah.
Like, I do want to sell things and I do need to sell things to keep this band alive, but that's not the point, and I don't want people to think that's the point. So when someone takes a glimpse at our social media, I don't want them to see ad after ad. I want
Yep.
them to see photo. I want them to see me writing lyrics. I want them to see me talking about how I'm feeling, asking
Yeah.
people how they're feeling, you
Yep.
know. Um, yeah, it's definitely a process. Um,
But you've loved the merch process. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you were
yeah.
drawn to
Oh
it
yeah,
immediately in the
I
scene,
was.
and then
Yeah.
that translated to finding designers and
Yeah.
designing things. Have you designed some shirts yourself?
Kind of. I've done like bad designs and then given it to people that are good, and I had them make it good for
Yep.
me. Um, I've Yeah, one of the things I'm most proud of is similar to video. I've met a lot of designers and given them sort of their first tries and really worked with them to say, hey, try this, try that, and
Mm,
watch them now expand into becoming like really in demand designers. And that's been really cool. I think
yeah.
specifically most recently, well, at first it was my buddy Jim Hughes. And he's doing really well. And him and his wife actually have their own kid, have a baby, and they've done some fostering as well for kids. And so my buddy Jim Hughes, and then more recently a buddy named Lee, who is from Portugal,
Yeah.
and uh, gave him, I think, his first job. And I actually met him because he's a huge Silent Planet listener, and
Cool.
he would comment. He'd always be the first comment on all of our videos back in like 2014 and stuff. He's
Yeah.
followed us for a really long time, and he does a lot of our design work now, and he is killing it.
Wow.
He's so
Wow.
cool. And
Is there a certain design you could tell me? I think I've seen most of your merch.
Yeah, I mean, so for instance, we had this hoodie on this last tour that was our best seller. It was like a teal hoodie,
Mm-hmm.
like a dark teal hoodie, and it had this interesting like flower melting on the
I've
back
seen
of it.
it.
It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, and he did that, and I was like, yeah, that's a crazy design. I don't even know if people are gonna like it, but we like it, and so we took it out, and it was actually our best seller. And I
Wow.
genuinely, I took it out along with the black hoodie because I
Mm.
thought that the black hoodie would sell well.
That'd be like
But
the
I actually,
classic go-to.
yeah, but I actually ended up letting the black hoodie run out, and I was getting like 5 boxes of that teal hoodie like every 3 days.
Wow.
Like, I mean, it was crazy. It was like half of our merch income was that teal hoodie, and it came from this guy we taking a chance, and it's and that's a really special thing, to be texting him and being like, dude, this thing is flying. Like, thank you.
Yeah. Oh
Like
wow.
Thomas is going to be able to pay his mortgage because of this hoodie. It's cool.
Mm.
It's cool to collaborate with people, man.
That's what I love about your vision, right? It's like you definitely hold yourself to a standard, and I
Hmm.
think that's what's been able to make this band sustainable. But the
I
vision,
appreciate that, man. I really do.
but the
Thank
but
you.
the but the vision goes past the standard. I mean, actually, it's interesting the way you're talking. It seems like the standard is like, right, commercial, that it's professional, but then part of the standard is that it's relational and that it helps people, um, that it brings somebody that might be in a really dark place or a vulnerable place to a place
Yeah.
of safety and of love, and then we start to see creativity.